Now we are finishing off our second half of non-filler episodes before we dive back into the filler
Hmm.
with a rather, I guess you could say this was a weird episode. I don't think we were expecting this to be as strange as it was coming from
No,
the preview and all of that, but man, did it get weird at
it was
points.
it got really weird.
Oh boy. Yeah, so hello, welcome to this week's episode. Jared now watching Inuyasha's episode 134. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We're discussing season 5, episode 22, or episode 132, entitled Miroku's Most Dangerous Confession, which I don't know if that's really the case here.
I mean, it was only dangerous because he got attacked and then he confessed.
Yeah, like he wasn't confessing during when they were fighting. It was just afterwards.
Yeah, I think maybe they could have used a different title here, but whatevs. We're not the title
Yeah.
people.
We get a very long recap of what happened last week.
In
And
case
then,
you missed it.
the blue demon head talks to Miroku and explains what happened to them, how they got trapped in a scroll by some people who didn't like that this demon was
In the
taking over
marsh.
this marsh, and then they were hung up on the scroll for a while, and then they got freed, and now they gotta eat people's flesh to
'Cause
gain their form back.
The dude skinned her.
Yeah. So that's why this demon is eating all these dudes.
Nom nom nom
And
nom
Miroku's
nom
like, I
nom.
don't want to have anything to do with this.
Yeah, no thank you.
And he tries to escape, but then he eventually sees Shinosuke with Wakana walking to the shrine. He's like, I gotta go stop them. Inuyasha and Kagome and Shippo are fighting off the women. They're just like, Inuyasha's trying his best not to be like actually fighting them, just like trying to fend them off without like really hurting them. Kagome's yelling at him for that. He's like, look, well, what do you want me to do?
Which is funny given context of what happens later.
What do you want me to do?
I'm doing my best. I'm not actually killing them or anything.
Yeah, he's trying his rubesti.
He is. He's doing his bestie.
Yeah. We go back to Miroku, who's just he's trying to stop Shinosuke from going into the shrine, and Shinosuke sees him and is like, I think Miroku's trying to tell me something, but I can't hear him. That's weird. And the demon's like, Wakana like comes to her senses somehow and is like, oh, we should like get out of here. We should jump out of the way and not get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Also, the other lady has just like a push pin that she's fighting.
yeah,
Miroku
she's fighting it with a push pin.
with. I was like, what is that? I wonder if it's the push pin for the scroll. Like what was holding it up? I don't know.
I don't know, but why would they have a giant push pin?
I don't know. I'm just saying it might be a way to hold a scroll up.
Yeah, Miroku's going to use the wind tunnel there, and then that lady with the giant push pin comes in and is like, I will take you down.
He's
With
like,
his
oh,
push
damn
pin.
it. I can't do it now.
Yeah. He pokes the demon in the eye, and that causes it to fly off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fights off the gal and is like, ooh, sutras on the scroll. Interesting. And he takes out a sutra and somehow he figures out that like there are things in the gals that are controlling them. So he just places a sutra on the gal's belly that was attacking with the pushpin, and then just takes as much force as possible to punch her right in the belly.
And he's like, bonk.
And then she barfs up this salamander, and he's like, huh, salamander. And pokes it and kills it, and this lady's fine. And then he does it for Wakana as well.
Yep.
She does the same thing, and he destroys that. And they're like, all right, you guys are fine. I guess I'll go after and find my friends.
I love that he just starts wrapping the sutras around his fist and punching with that at one point.
Again, I don't understand how he just figured out, oh.
They're in the belly.
They're in the belly. Let me just...
What if I just punch all these women?
Boom. He punches so many women in this
He
episode.
punches so many women after Inuyasha's like, I don't hurt women. What are you talking about?
Miroku's like, I will do it.
I'll punch all these women. I don't care.
So yeah, Miroku runs off. He shows up where Inuyasha and everyone is. The big monster is now a salamander, or the demon's now a salamander, is fighting Inuyasha. Miroku shows up and starts punching ladies again.
There's a lot of ladies though.
Yeah, so he's trying to do that, and then gets overwhelmed at some point, and then Inuyasha is able to destroy the salamander demon, but it doesn't. But it doesn't take care of the hold over the women, so they're trying to figure that out. And then Kirara shows up and it's like, Miroku, we gotta go. We gotta find Sango. And then Miroku's like, all right, I guess I'll go with Kirara to find Sango.
He like hands a bunch of sutras to
y'all
Kagome. He's like, you punch all the women.
We also do not see either Inuyasha or Kagome punch a woman after this.
That is true. We do not.
It is just Miroku punching women.
Miroku punching women.
So yeah, they dive into the marsh, and then it's somehow very deep, and they find Sango throwing the boomerang at them, and then it becomes very not deep, and they're up back on the riverbank. And Miroku and Sango are gonna fight now, and basically this is just Sango beating up Miroku. She cuts him in his arm, his wind tunnel arm, and he's like, "Well, I can't use my wind tunnel arm anymore." We know this because immediately as he gets hit, Inuyasha's like, "I smell blood." They're like, "Huh?" And then we cut back, and Miroku's just bleeding buckets.
That's also his punching arm. So
yeah. He gets cut on the face and gets a good gash there. And then gets cut on the forearm, which is like a little nick. It's fine. It's whatever.
It's fine.
But yeah, Sango just keeps taking out different blades to attack Miroku with, and eventually he's able to punch her in the belly, and she coughs up the egg, and then everyone shows up and is like, "Oh, Miroku, you're messed up."
He's like, "Man, I'm glad the thing didn't hatch, because otherwise I would have died. You're a good fighter."
And Kagome's like, "Dude, what happened to you?"
What happened?
And then Shippo just takes a stick and puts a suture on it and takes care of the egg.
It's so funny.
And that's it for this part of the episode. The demon women have been quelled. We don't find... So they never showed that lady who was, like, leading them and the one who was, like, fed Sango the egg.
The egg.
She never shows back up. So,
no, she just disappears. So she didn't get punched.
Unless she got punched off screen with the others, I guess. I don't know. That was a weird thing that they just kind of glossed over. But yeah, Shinosuke and Wakana come say goodbye to Inuyasha and Kagome, and they're like, "Can we thank Miroku as well?" And he's like, "Nah, he's got something else he's got to do right now. Don't worry about him." We see Miroku very bandaged up. He's got like the wrong arm in a sling. He's got a bandage on his face like he's Nelly. Sango's like, "I'm sorry, I caused all this to happen." And Miroku's like, "Nah, it was kind of like my fault that this happened. Like, don't worry about it. It's kind of me." And then we see Inuyasha and the gang just like watching, and Inuyasha's just like, he's just gonna flirt with her like he does all the other women. What a jerk.
He sucks.
But Miroku's like, "I gotta tell you my true feelings, Sango." About how he's like, "I've never had feelings for a woman like you or anyone else like this before, but I can't love you like ordinary love because you're a comrade, and like I don't want you to die and all that sort of stuff, and like we're gonna have to fight Naraku." Sango obviously doesn't hear this other part until afterwards because she just feels like, oh, he wants to be friends. That sucks.
Starts crying.
But then Miroku's like, I'm not done yet. Please hold. Please hold for my the rest of my speech here.
Because she gets up and is gonna leave.
Yeah, but he's basically just like, we gotta fight Naraku and everything, and like that's a big battle, and I don't know if we're gonna make it out alive and all that, but like, in case we do and all that, like, you want to like get together afterwards and like,
you want to live with me?
You want to bear my 1,000 children? And Song was like, "Yes, please."
Yep. I would love to.
Yeah. But then Song was like, "You're gonna stop flirting with women, right? Right?
Right?
Right?" And Miroku's like,
right?
And then it cuts over to like Kagome and just like, oh.
Dang it.
And then Inuyasha's just like, "Yeah, those two won't last a day or two together. Spoilers, they will last together as seen in the sequel series.
They will last, and they will have babies, but not 10 to 20.
I mean, you stopped watching it, so maybe they've already gotten up to like 17 more kids by this time. I don't know.
I just checked the wiki.
Maybe it's not updated. Maybe they also stopped watching.
Maybe, but also like, who's to say they're done?
True. We got one note here.
I imagine they are done because like the kids are older at that point. Anyway, sorry, notes.
3 babies is also a lot.
It's a lot,
especially in that time period.
And especially because 2 of them are twins.
Ugh.
Imagine that time period and having twins.
Miroku's your dad.
Miroku's your dad.
Oh boy. Our one note here. In the manga, Miroku simply punched the maiden's stomachs to make them throw up the salamander demons. Most likely, the sutras were added to tone down the violence, which, that makes sense. It's Miroku just going around and going, I'm just gonna punch you in the gut.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a valid change. I think that it probably would have been a little bit more if it had just been Miroku just like it was already messed up that Miroku was just running around punching ladies.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to just like make a lot more sense
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
why he's doing this, but also like it's still just so out of pocket for him just running around and punching all these ladies in the gut.
It's wild. Yeah,
Uh,
the sutras do give it some kind of like legitimacy, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna do it for us this week. Next time we will be back into filler as we head into a 1 hour special episode that's also just split into two parts. So whatever.
Hmm.
I guess that let me see if this like did it aired in Japan as a 1 hour special. They did not air it over here as a 1 hour special.
Nahone.
So yes, we will be discussing next time episode 133 entitled "The Woman Who Loved Sesshomaru Part 1," which is already good. That's a good title when you know this is filler. So
Yay.
so we'll learn about some lady who wants to fight Sesshomaru and stuff. I guess I don't know.
I
It
think she
won't. It
wants
won't
to
matter.
I think she wants to help Sesshomaru fight Inuyasha.
But it won't matter.
It won't matter because it's filler. It's
Yeah.
whatevs.
But that's what we're going to talk about next time. But for now, if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sec.cool. That's where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. So join us next time for our special, not special, 1 hour, not special, 2-part episode. But it's just going to be part 1 of the episode.
All that, yes. No punching ladies.
Well, we don't know if actually that's not going to happen or not.
Okay, sure. We don't know that for certain.